Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, honestly, not too much went on, so if you guys don't know my normal videos, I usually do a little bit of vlogging in the beginning, but I didn't want to show you guys anything that's too boring. I really didn't do much today. I was pretty much at this desk working on my computer for a couple hours straight, so can't really film anything. But with that said, I still want to release some value for you guys. Really talk about pretty much what you could tell by the title of the video. 5 things I've kind of learned doing this full time. If you guys don't know, I started flipping phones full time back in January of this year. So it's been a couple months now. I've been able to get a perspective from this side, and I think we'll have some creative points that I want to give you guys, make you guys think about a couple things, because I know some of you are kind of on the edge about going to phone flipping full time from that part-time space, and it's a big leap. Like, let me be honest, like I wasn't the normal kind of guy that went from working like a 9-to-5 that ended up pursuing an entrepreneurial passion. Because I made enough money, I pretty much just went from college, didn't take a full-time job, and then went into phone flipping. So that's a little bit about my story in regards to that. But I really want to share a couple things that I've learned, and I think you guys, especially those of you that are looking to potentially go full-time with this, or even not even soon, but maybe in the future, if you want to see like what could be the path for phone flipping, what are some points that I should know about, well, I got you in this video. So with that said, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I realized is in the phone flipping game, you need to have some sort of automation process. I've made videos about it because in any business model, you want to spend your time other places if you have the chance, because that's in a sense where passive income comes, where you can start to delegate work to other people and in a sense still making enough money and then tap into other businesses because of that importance of having multiple income sources. So for me, over time, I want to mention to you guys that the system becomes a lot more automated the more you get into phone flipping. To be honest, it's hard to make an automated system when you've been in this for 1, 2, 3 weeks, even 1, 2, 3 months. It's hard to get a system automated. And don't get me wrong, that could definitely happen for you guys, but to be honest, from being in the game, from starting from literally nothing, never took a course or anything, literally just went through every single scam out there. Like, I've been doing this for a little bit, for a year and a couple months now. Like, it's crazy the journey that I've been on this entire time, looking from the beginning when I really didn't know where to sell a phone, didn't know what an iCloud was, now to the point where pretty much everything is automated for me. I have buyers, and that's one thing I want to mention is like a lot of you are so kind of like, how do I find private buyers? How do I get this automation with private buyers into my phone flipping business? And that's great. Props to you. And if you can find a private buyer, I definitely give you some respect. But with that said, in a sense, you need to earn your respect in this industry. You need to kind of know what you're doing, because to get to a private buyer stage, you need to know how to properly grade a phone. You need to, in a sense, like have consistency coming in with those phones. Private buyers prefer to have people that necessarily will keep giving them phones. In a sense, they'll still take your phone even if you ship 1 or 2 a week. With that said, they really are not going to give you the attention or help you out too much if you're just the person that gives them a phone every couple days. So overall, the point is that I want to make is automation comes with time, and that's one thing I've learned going full-time, is even starting from full-time all the way till now, and then that's just a span of a couple months, my system of phone flipping has become a lot more automated. In a sense, it's become a lot easier that way. So the second point that I want to mention is, and might be something that a lot of you have struggled with mentally. I know I have, just in terms, not even with phone flipping, but just in terms of putting in work, grinding it out, is my income is directly correlated to my willingness to put in the work for it. And that's where this is really different than a 9-to-5. I mean, if you put in X amount of work, or you put in 10 times that X amount of work, you're still going to get paid a salary. But with phone flipping and doing this full time, my income is directly correlated to, like, in a sense, how much hustle I put in this, respect to the brand, how much like grind I put in. Like, it really, my income is dependent on how willing I am to go out there, bid on phones 24/7, create a brand around it, have the like repeat customers, put out ads every single day, create an automated system. It really is how much work I put in, and a lot of the times that doesn't happen with entrepreneurship. And even though everybody says you put in more work, you'll succeed. Well, in the flipping game, I mean, you're not making money unless you're going out there putting out ads or having repeat customers come to you, and or there's a plethora of different ways, but you're really not making money until a phone is in your hand, because then you can go ahead and sell that for profit. Hopefully you did the right bidding process. originally to get that phone at a good price. But that's one thing I've learned about doing this full time, is I really just need to put in the work. If you guys are considering doing phone flipping full time, just recognize like your income is solely dependent. If this is your main income and maybe even your only income, it's solely dependent on how willing you are to put in the work in this industry. The third point is something that I think a lot of you will like to hear, especially those people that are potentially looking to do this full time, even though you might already know this, or those that might be starting but see this as something they may want to go into full time later on, is that there's only so many ways you can get scammed in the phone flipping industry. And for me, at the point where I'm doing this full time, I really don't come across them anymore. There's a few things I still learn every single day, and that's totally fine if you're not doing that. In any sort of business model that you're in, you're definitely doing something wrong. But I mean, there's only so many scams that can go wrong, including things like having an iCloud locked, obviously easy to check, having phones go blacklisted because somebody reports them. Well, for me, I buy 99% of my phones as bad ESN already, so that doesn't really affect my business. The eBay item not described case, if you guys don't know what that is, basically huge scam on eBay where we as phone flippers will ship out phones. They'll ship to a freight forwarding company, they'll ship overseas, they'll say it's not the original phone, they'll ship back a crappy phone or nothing in a box, they'll win the case when they go to PayPal, and we get screwed, and there's literally nothing we can get protected about. And it's amazing how many of the other phone flippers that promote their business on YouTube, how many little of them talk about that, especially those that promote eBay as a huge income source. Like, I don't understand how these guys are not are doing good business. I think honestly they're just getting lucky because in a sense there's really no way you can kind of avoid that. If you do know a way to avoid that, please let me know. I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this video and that are in the comments as well as myself would love to know that as well. But I mean, there's only so many things that can go wrong in a sense, and so if you mitigate every single one of those, which I have over time, and let me be honest, like I've been through every single one of the scams, and I didn't know they were a scam until it happened to me. So for it to happen, I mean, it sucked, but I got to the point where I know how to fix them. For me, I don't sell on eBay. As I mentioned, there's an iCloud lock. People can reset phones. Even with the iCloud lock on them, I'll check them perfectly. Blacklisted, I told you I buy my phones as 99% bad ESN anyway. So there are ways you guys can combat that, except for that eBay one I don't really know too much about. But I mean, I think a lot of you will enjoy that point in the sense that there really is only so many things that can go wrong. So with that said, again, that's one way you can really kind of have the hope and guarantee that you're going to be having successful business in a sense, as long as you're putting in the work and the grind for it. So the fourth point that I have for you guys is that I've learned that it's better to focus on one type of phone at a time. And one type, I basically just mean Apple or Android. I know a lot of people that are coming to me saying their first phone is a Samsung Galaxy S8 cracked, bad LCD with a bad camera. I'm like, what the heck are you doing, dude? I mean, it's like the iPhones are so easy in a sense. If you don't have iPhones, maybe Androids or something you start out with. But I see so many people that have the potential to simply do iPhones, go buy all these Pixels, these Galaxies, these Chinese phones that nobody really knows about, and then they'll buy them like broken, and they'll have 10 different things wrong with them. Then they ask, how much should I buy this for? Even though they've already bought it, and they ask all these different questions. It really doesn't make sense. This industry is such a common sense industry, and it makes me cringe sometimes when I see the amount of people that will try to buy a different type of phone. Just focus on one type. My recommendation would be to focus on Apple in a sense. I will buy Samsung Galaxies all the time when I get the chance, for me, just because I've been doing this for a little while now, but I know what they're selling for, I know what I should buy it for, I know what can go wrong with them because I've done the research and I've been there. But in the beginning, you really need to just focus on one phone, get really good at one thing, and then pursue another thing. So don't tap into Androids too quickly. If you want to do this full time, really get good at doing iPhones, and I wouldn't even say tap into those other ones. It's good if you know how to like check them and everything. If you know where the potential scams are, then go ahead and buy them because that's potential income. But if you really don't know, don't put yourself in a position where you can get scammed. That's just one thing I wanted to mention to you guys as a full-time phone flipper, just to give you guys a little bit of a perspective. And the fifth point, this might be combating to what I kind of said before, and something you guys might like to hear. This is kind of something on the exact opposite spectrum, but in the phone flipping game, there really is no sort of consistency. you'll see a lot of these guys in the phone flipping group saying like, hey, I'm getting like 10 phones a day, 20 phones a day. To be honest, it's not true. A lot of the times they're BSing, and I just want to be totally honest with you guys. Like, I hate seeing false information. There's not much I can do to mitigate it just because people like to boast about it to make themselves look better, but there really isn't any consistency in the game. You can create a consistent business model, but every single day is going to be a little bit different for you. For me, like literally since day one, not one day has been even close to similar as the next day or 2 days before or 3 days before. But in a sense, that's what's created such like an entrepreneur feel for me. It's created kind of that hustle mentality, and it's really created some sort of like on the edge vibe for me. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's really one of those things that we can't handle. Yes, you can again create consistency, you can consistently put up ads, you can consistently reach out to customers, but with that said, there's no assurance that you're going to get sales. But that happens in any other business. I mean, some businesses can be automated in the sense that they become passive. You're going to get income every single day, but a lot of the times you don't know if you're going to make X or you're going to make Y. So again, that kind of relates to the second point where I was talking about your income is directly correlated to your willingness to put in the work. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. I hope you guys found some value in this video, especially of those of you that potentially might want to go full time with phone flipping. To be honest, some of those might not be the best points that you wanted to hear. Some might be, and I just want to let you know that phone flipping is kind of the best thing that's ever happened to me. So if you want to go into the space, if you haven't already or are going to be doing this full time or potentially, I definitely recommend it. Even though there's downfalls, there's going to be downfalls in every single industry that you try to attack. You just have to mitigate them and just be smart about it. Be a smart businessman or woman. And I guarantee you're going to have success in no matter what you do. So if you guys found value in today's video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you guys aren't subbed to the channel yet, definitely hit that subscription button down below. I'd really appreciate the support. And if you made it this far in the video, you mean the world to me, and I'll catch you tomorrow in the next video.